Hi everybody, and you're very welcome back. Now in this lesson we're going to be looking at adding a gravatar image and a sidebar to our Orbit application. We're going to add a gravatar, which is a free service that allows us to upload images and associate them with the email addresses that you control. This saves us the trouble of creating an image uploader, at least for the moment anyway. We're going to define a gravatar4 helper function to return a gravatar image for a given user. By Rails default, methods defined in any helper file are automatically available in any view, so this will make things a little bit easier for us. We're going to put the gravatar4 method in the file for helpers associated with the users controller. So let's go to app helpers users underscore helper. So over here on the left hand side, app helpers users helper. There we go. So as you can see, it's pretty empty at the moment. So we're going to create a new method, gravatar underscore 4. So let's do that now. def gravatar underscore 4 user. So we're passing it one argument. Now we need to create a couple of variables. So the first one is gravatar underscore ID. Careful with my spelling. So gravatar underscore ID equals digest, and I'll explain this in a moment, MD5 double colon again hex digest, HEXDIGEST. Oh, where did that come from? There we go. User dot email dot downcase. Close brackets. The next variable is a gravatar URL. Now, so this is the URL of the gravatar service. So as you can see here, in this last piece of code, we're using a hash interpolation to insert a gravatar ID associated with an email address or with a user into a URL. So that should retrieve the correct gravatar. Let me close off this method. There we go. Perfect. Let me save it. Now, since the email addresses are case sensitive, but MD5 hashes are not, we've used the downcase method to ensure that in the argument the hex digest is all lowercase. So that's line 3 here. As you can see, we've used email.downcase. Make sure all email addresses are automatically downcased. Gravatar URLs are based on MD5 hashes of the user's email. In Ruby, MD5 hashing algorithm is implemented using the hex digest method, which is part of the digest library. Our helper code returns an image tag for the gravatar with a gravatar CSS class, and alt text equal to the user's name. With our gravatar4 method now complete, let's go to users show page to add some code in there. So over here on the left hand side, views, users, oh, I closed it by mistake, show, here we go. Okay, let's change this up a little bit. So I'm going to take out this line of code just to make things a little bit easier. I'm going to start off with provide, so you're very familiar with this line, provide title. Now in the title we're going to do something else. We're going to put in the user.name. Close off the code. Now we have a h1, and within that h1 we're going to say gravatar4, so the method we just created, instance variable user, so for the particular user, and let's give out the username. Close out our h1 tag. There we go. By this stage now, what we've just typed in should be self-explanatory. We have a title tag, we've added in our gravatar underscore 4 method, and we're displaying the username. So let me save this now and let me start up my server. Okay, perfect. Let's go to the application. All looks good. Now, let's visit a user. There we go, still in my history. Okay, this looks like a little bit of a problem, so let's take a look. So back into our users_helper, and here, I wasn't reading my own notes correctly, I've left out a line of code. So what I want is image tag, gravatar URL, so the alt text, so what's going to be in the alt text is the user.name, class, gravatar. Oh, do it right, Tony. Gravatar, there we go. Close the brackets. Now let me save that and double check it. Okay, let's refresh our application. And there we go, nice and clean. As you can see here, this is just a default image. And why are we getting the default image? Because the email address that we have in our database, example.com or tony@example.com, isn't a real email address. If we were to go now and update our test attributes to something real, the gravatar would work. So let's take a look. Let's jump back into our text editor. Here we are. Let me kill the server. Okay, let's say Rails console. And what we're going to do here is update our first user to have a real email address. User equals user.first. So there it is there. And as you can see, the email address is tony@example.com. So we want to update this. User.update name. That's going to stay the same. If I do it right, there we go. Email is the one we want to update. Tony at, I'm not going to finish that sentence with my actual email address, but here you would enter in your real email address. Okay, so there's my email address in, and my password, I'm just going to stick with my default password that I had previously. And password confirmation. Same password again. Close out my brackets and hit enter. But before I do, just let me double check everything. User.update. Okay, looks good. Let's hit enter. And it's been successful. Now let me start the server again. Rails server. Oh, because I'm in my console, exit. Rails server. Now let's jump back to our application. Refresh. Nothing. And why is that? Well, go to Gravatar website. There we go, gravatar.com. And what you need to do here is create your own gravatar. So I'm going to pause the video and do that now. Okay guys, so here I am back. And as you can see on the gravatar.com website, you simply create an account using WordPress. You then upload an image that you want to be your gravatar and click save. And that's it. So you can see here, it's a pretty big website, or it's a pretty big used website used by WordPress, GitHub, American Idol, Stack Overflow. It's used by plenty of big companies. So I've gone in, created an account, uploaded an image, and back here in my code application, in my text editor, I've restarted the server and refreshed my application, and sure enough, look at that, a gravatar image has been uploaded. And all you need to do that is a gravatar account and associated email address with that account, and it should work perfectly. Okay guys, that's it for this lesson. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next, where we're going to be looking at adding a sidebar to our user's profile page. See you there.